Hello, hello! Welcome to this year's Spoken Word Night by Lads. Hello, welcome. Okay, yeah, welcome to this year's Spoken Word Night. This year's theme is about letters to somebody's nobody. So basically, we'll be talking about unspeakable or unspoken words, or words that you might have regretted saying, words that you might have regretted not saying, things like that. So we are exploring this very juicy theme tonight with 12 of our poets, and we hope that you enjoy it. But before we get into the event, just want to give a quick and event a success. First of all, we'd like to thank, of course, Dr. Sheena, who has been conducting the workshops for us and giving us feedback, and of course, School of English for for giving us access to stream on your Facebook. And we'd also like to thank Lads, everybody in Lads, and of course, my entire team for helping to make this event possible. And we'd also like to thank the poets, of course, for their commitment to this and really putting in their all and well, chipping in because the arts industry is as small as it is now. So it's great to gather around and just relax and listen to some poetry tonight. So without further ado, I will be introducing our first poet of the night, and her name is Dr. Sheena. She is our lecturer. So the poem that she has written is called High School, and here's a short intro about her. She was born and bred in Malaysia. Sheena, and performer. Her works have been translated into Spanish and French, featured in a number of local and international art events and anthologies, and as of now, she patiently awaits the day she gets her first pet snake. Well, do show us pictures when you do get your pet snake. So this is the poem by Dr. Sheena. Her social media handles are featured down below at Sheena Baharudin on Instagram and also Facebook. So if you want to follow her, you can do that. Dr. Sheena.
Hi, my name is Sheena Bahardin from the School of English, and I would love to share my appreciation and gratitude to Pixie, the hostess with the mooses, and of course to Lads for the opportunity once again to share this love that I have for the spoken word, as well as poetry. So for tonight, I'm going to perform a poem that I haven't performed in a very long time. It was written in 2013, and I believe that this tonight is a good time to bring it back to life like Lazarus. So yes, it is titled High School, and I hope that you enjoy it. If only I was taught proper back in high school, I wouldn't be struggling so much writing this letter to you. For instance, my Chigu could have taught me that physics is based on the premise that everything is made out of matter and that matter is made out of mass, just like how you do matter to me above all the rest, and that the best definition of inertia could only be found in the reason why I can't stop thinking about you. So despite the friction met in my states of motion, I am still falling for you at the speed of light, just like chemistry could have been about how our bodies have enough carbon to make 9,000 pencils, because then that makes me a vessel of words, and not that I am a spoken word poet. I choose you to be my muse, because better than shrooms, LSD, weed, or cocaine, you are the stimulant that floods my brains with dopamine. And please, shh, let's not talk about physical chemistry. Instead, let us flip through the neglected pages of biology. Now, did you know the octopus possesses not one heart, but three? To make it worse, it is solitary. No wonder its blood is blue, because its whole existence sings the blues. And that's why I refuse to live a life without you. For I have only one heart, not three, with blood vessels so broad I could never stop you from swimming into my deepest thoughts. And just like those blue whales in the seas, my heart is absolutely massive and indisputably capable of so many miracles that this should have been in religious studies. Now, see how your heart loses a beat every time you sneeze, and how my heart skips a beat, forgets to breathe every time we kiss, and yet here I am still standing and walking not on water, but on this earth where you're the promised land and I'm the wayfarer, so eager to get to know you better, because with you, I want to have my first and my last supper, feasting on psalms, sipping on holy verses, and together we pinpoint the exact moment when a religion of love is turned into a statistic of hatred. And that is why mathematics is more than just about sine, cosine, and tangent, or how kilometers contribute to physical distance. You see, it should be more about how you plus me equals to fun, and that we minus you equals to none, because you are my version of the Euler's formula, the most beautiful equation. Yes, that's what you are. Now, you once said that I am the light to your prison, but you are the algorithm to all my problems. You have solved me. Which is why I believe that Pendidikan Jasmani, or PE, should not be about who is the fittest or who is the best at sports, but how my tongue ought to be the strongest muscle in my body. You see me flex it as I carry the weights of the hardest words to say, like goodbye, or I'm sorry, or I'm gay, or please stay. Now, I wish that my Chekwu geography could have taught me that the Eskimos have hundreds of words for snow, but not a single one for hello, because that would have made it so much better for me to understand why that is so. I mean, just look at it. See how a word is capable of turning our life into a hellhole, and still I said hello to you, even though I knew that you bring forth with you infinite possibilities of a heartbreak. My tragic flaw, it could just be that one gut-wrenching, fate-fulfilling mistake, and yet I still choose to partake in the struggle to write this love letter to you, love poem to you, even when poetry was never once taught in my classroom. Now, why? You would ask me, and then I would say, well, that's it. Life is just like high school. It sucks and it is messed up. But no, not you. You are like recessed, which honestly is the only thing I look forward to having, counting each and every second, waiting for the final bell ring so that proper education can finally begin. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the show.
I was unmuted. Sorry. Wow, that was amazing. Thank you. That was High School by Dr. Sheena. So if you want to follow her, quick shout out again. Her social media handles is at Sheena Baharuddin and on Instagram and also Facebook. So yeah. Oh, one more thing. To the audience, if you see a line that you like, or if there's a part of the poem that you want to share, please do let us know, and then we'll be featuring some comments as we go along. So yeah. Let's move on to the next poet. Next poet for tonight is named Amri, and his poem is called What I Would Write. And a quick bio about him is that he likes experiencing a story, whether through writing or acting or immersing himself in Dungeons and Dragons. And that's why he admires poetry. The stories are just so immensely raw and intimate. And do chill us when you have your game sessions and you need extra players. Well, anyway, this is What I Would Write by Amri. Yeah, What I Would Write by Amri.
If I were to write a letter detailing the honest truth, what would it say? Maybe it says I'm an actor, that I perform scenes every day. My greatest role is this character named Amri. My favorite scene is when he's at the mama with a bunch of his friends, knitting a lepa with his nicely crafted smile, drinking his teh tarik and spilling out lies, lying with the finesse of a swashbuckling adventurer in a fabricated story, perform intensely in an improvised game session where I'm role-playing me, where my brain is a dungeon master, rolling the dice to decide how I'm feeling. Anxious, overwhelmed, no focus, hyper-focus, obsessed, too fast, that fast, distracted, depressed. Oh my god, roll a d20, let's find out. Maybe it says I'm friendly, that I like making friends. But I always have my shield up, waiting for a surprise attack, waiting for that titanic collision with the iceberg of conflict so I can jump from this friendship. Maybe that's why I have so many friends and family, so I can jump around when they betray and abandon me. At least that's what my anxiety keeps whispering to me. Maybe it says that I'm scared to fall in love, that I'm scared to be broken even more than the shattered glass that I already am, that I don't think I deserve it, which is ironic for someone who's in love with himself. I may also be a bit conceited. Maybe it says, for as long as I can feel, my closest buddy is my depression, always with me when I'm pretending to be alive. Soulmates, it says. Turns out I'm just the old bag of dirt, and he's the gold digger, draining my account of all my currency of positivity, of all my golden inspirations, of all my sparkling diamonds of hope, all of which I hide within me, inside a hidden closet with the skeleton of my childlike innocence, holding it all dear like the stuffed giraffe I used to carry everywhere, creatively named Giraffe. You see, I struggle to bear my heart on my sleeve, like the watches I wear on my wrist that tend to break. I tend to break. You see, I'm a professional pretender, switching my mask as easily as a magician shuffles his cards. I'm doing fine. It's my favorite lie, my go-to line when I'm trying to reel in another sucker. You see, when you tell a lie long enough, you start to believe it, but it doesn't make it true. They said the sun will rise, the truth will come out, and it will blind you if you pretend you can't see it. It's taken me a lot of time to pick up all of my broken pieces and glue them together, to repair myself with a lot of perspective, self love, and a lot of help from God, to stop crafting intricate stories to sell to the next observer as if they're tourists that won't come back and I'm the cheap, overpriced trinket that will be forgotten about in a drawer full of junk. Taken a lot of effort to let people in, to be as fragile as a smartphone without its case, to risk being dropped by someone who's careless with their words or their actions or just doesn't give a shit. If I were to write a letter detailing the honest truth, I know what it will say. I'd write that I'm a Muslim guy from Malaysia who loves Dungeons and Dragons, writing and acting, and like a lot more, but we don't have like 16 hours. I don't have a typical mind, but it's a beautiful mind, and it is mine. There are times when I'm not fine, and that's fine. It's okay. I'm okay. There are times when a giant boulder comes rolling and jumping me from the street corner, squeezing every ounce of emotional juice out of me, leaving an empty husk of a man. But that's okay. It'll pass. See, the tides from my tears will raise that boulder and fill me with life. Oh, do I love life? I am not positive because I don't have any problems. I'm not optimistic despite of my problems. I am vibrant and alive and full of so much joy because of my pain and suffering. I'm not scared to be broken, not anymore. Even if it takes time, I will pick up all the pieces and I will rise again like a flower in bloom after the darkness of the night and into the new dawn in the brightness of the light. Genuinely, Amri.
I swear, I keep thinking I unmuted, but then I don't unmute. Yeah, sorry. um, Thank you so much, Amri. Oh, I forgot to shout out Amri's social media just now, and his social media tag is 16 Amri on Instagram. So if you wanna drop him a follow, slide into the DMs, that's the handle you should go for. So the next poet we have coming up is named Kareem, and his poem is untitled. So make of that what you will. A short, quick bio about him is that he's an incredibly funny person, in his own words, who likes creating flowery strings of words. And well, tonight you'll be listening to some of those wonderfully flowery words. And his social media handle is at sh.adow66. So shadow, but with a dot in the middle. So this is an untitled poem by Karim.
Oh, hello there. My name is Kareem. Oh, you don't remember me? I'm from the class with a terrible AC. See, I don't want to be crass. I'm only here because I have a question to ask. See, I know that you have a dream, something that you want to achieve, and I would like to hear. So, what do you want to be? Oh, you want to be an engineer? Well, that's quite unique to hear. So how does it make you feel? Does it make you... Oh, you have a question. Well, it's always a pleasure to hear. Right. What is my dream? Well, my dream... I dream to be Well, I really don't have a dream. See, I never thought of it as something I should believe. You don't have to give me that look in your face. See, I don't need your sympathy, and I don't need you to talk about me or advise me. I just need you to talk about something that you believe. How does it make you feel to have a dream? Does it make you feel like a knight trying to save his princess from atop a tower? Or does it make you feel like a knight trying to save his country from numerous attacks of society? Does it make you feel like a... Oh, right, that's the school bell ring. Well, it's always a pleasure to meet. Well, goodbye then. See you later. Another failed test subject. See, you're wondering why I'm here. I am in the highest institute of education. I escaped the talons of high school, and I don't know whether to be confused or relieved. I thought that maybe when I have a dream, I'll finally escape the shackles of uncertainty. When the sun of decisions dawns upon me, why am I stuck with this shadow that keeps engulfing me? I don't know. I thought it might be my only escape, but see, I don't have a dream. And it doesn't bother me. No, it doesn't bother me, but I just wish that my life won't be just this tunnel of uncertainty, that at the end of this tunnel, I'll have nothing other than this grave with my name on stone. I don't want my only thing that I achieved to be the date I was born. I want something. I want anything. I don't want to be nothing. I don't want to be ashes. I don't want to be a name. I want to be in action. I thought I finally can have it. I thought I can finally reach it. But I don't have it. And I can't reach it. And I don't know what to do. So I wonder, when I ask you, how does it make you feel to have a dream? Will you answer me correctly?
Thank you for the wonderful poem, Karim. It's a little too close to home, but the next poet. Her name is Sarah, and her poem is Metallic Garlic. And a quick introduction about her is she likes to fill up her time with a lot of activities so that she can stop thinking. You, me, same. But when she's not hyper-focusing on maniacal tasks, she's rewatching 2000s rom-coms and waiting for the next poem to come. And so this is Metallic Garlic by Sarah, and her social media handle is @Sarah491_.
My mother loved her kitchen. Food suffocated the cabinets and cupboards. The intoxicating smell of seasonings, spices, and herbs latched onto her skin and hair. When she tells me, "Pretend that you're a meal I'm preparing," I play along. Once I forgot to remove the nail polish and missed my solemn request to God. So she said my fingers were nuts or pistachio that needed to be forced open with a nutcracker. The metal jaw of the machine kissed my fingers, mixing my blood in the garlic smell of her hands. That was the first time I understood what it meant to blend with the person you love. Whenever I got too loud or my personality stretched covering her shadow, I used the colander to strain my thoughts and the mandolin slicer to shave off the parts of me she didn't like, praying that the remains were palatable. Once a month, I would sit in boiling water with the vegetables and the raw meat, cleansing myself of burnt scars, the smoky sense of sins she can't forgive, and I can't repent from. But the smell of metallic garlic never washed away. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful piece, Sarah. Oof. So, by the way, I didn't mention this earlier, but even though our theme is letters to somebody's nobody, unspoken words, unspeakable words, you'll find that a lot of our poems cover different aspects of life. So we've talked about self, we've talked about dreams, we've talked about high school, we've talked about love, and we'll also be talking about things like family, lovers, ex-lovers, and all of these things as well. So if there's something for everybody essentially. So yeah, look forward to all of that. We will have a blend of different themes coming up. And the next poet we have is Amanda, and her poem name was Lock and Key. So she's the local try-hard arts major, and sometimes she strings words together and they kind of sound nice. So definitely looking forward to the kind of sound nice poem. It's always a pleasure. This is Lock and Key by Amanda. Oh, and her Instagram handle, meme friend. Oops, sorry. Yeah.
Spill stories at the dinner table. A loud cacophony of interjection and speculation of stories passed down from generation to generation. My father says, our family has no secrets. So like the child I was, so too did my stories spill forward. Rowdy fights at the primary school cafeteria and shy crushes with blushes and darting eyes I thought only I could see. My love knows no bounds in our family. My mouth a lock, my parents the key. My mother points fingers at me over lunch, face red, words heavy. My father is not around to stop her, and so she tells me she had no choice. My password the key. My secrets laid bare on the dining table, an afternoon special. She looks at me. Did you try to kill yourself? I say, Mom, looking at you is like staring down the barrel of a gun. I am the gun, my finger on the trigger, my hands shake with its weight, but every chamber is empty. I can't kill me even if I wanted to. I close the door shut behind me. I throw away the key. Filial piety is a locked door. Filial piety is the door. Maybe this is why I still keep coming home, even after the word turns jagged and sharp, even after it stops fitting right in my mouth. I come back home for a visit when I'm cornered in the car, evidence in hand, a weapon pressed against my neck, my parents the knife, my mouth an open wound. Our family has no secrets. My love knows no bounds. Home is the ghost that haunts me in the aftermath of a car crash only I can see. Home is the ghost. Home is the car crash, a flight ticket long overdue. I leave home for the first time, but why does it feel like I'm already gone? Why does everything I yearn for that is out of my reach never come home to me? I spill stories at the dinner table. Loud cacophony of interjection and speculation of stories passed down from generation to generation. My father says, our family has no secrets. Our love knows no bounds. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Kinda sound nice. That's a lie. That was an amazing poem. Thank you so much for sharing that wonderful poem. Her IG handle kind of rushed it, just to find her on Instagram. And moving on to the next poem, moving on to the next poem is Hakim, and his poem is called The Lost Letters. So, a quick intro. Yellow, my fellows. He's your local theater geek, D&D geek, and also resident dad jokester. So take it away, Hakim. This is The Lost Letters by Hakim, and you can find him at Hakim Ilyas on Instagram. Take it
This is a letter I wrote to
away,
Mama,
Hakim.
but also to myself. Do you remember the warmth of those sunny days? Your arms wrapped around me like a mama bear hugging her young cub. Warm, tender, loving. Our laughter like whispers of the past, bright as the orange sun lighting up the sky. The whisper echoes through this hallway, through its door, yellow and orange. Closing, locking, hiding, forgetting. Why did we lock away that happiness? Do you remember the times when we fought? The fire of our rage burned everything around us until it was just us two. The green-eyed monster that wanted everything everyone else had. The freedom to grow up, feel the war between us, the sparks of my voice, the cinders of my regret. The door of red and green closed, left to collect ash. What was the use of our empty tantrums? Do you remember your comforting words that extinguished those flames? As I cried in your arms, the river of my own tears brought me further, further, and even further away from you, until it was just me, sitting in an ocean of my own emotions. We sit behind a closed blue door, hiding the letters that never got sent to you. Lie, hide, repeat. What was the use of hiding our feelings and lying to everybody? You won't remember this, but as you lie on that cold, lonely deathbed, I stood waiting for your return. The return of your hopeful smile like stars lighting up the ocean. The return of your warm love like dolphins laughing in each other's company. But the more we waited, the more we lost. Like Nemo losing his father. Now we stand amongst a sea of white and black suits as we stare at the lilacs and stones that are your grave. We stare into your grave of memories, my grave of regrets, our grave of emptiness expands into the void of our cold, soulless body. In this cold void, Ma, we leave you to your stars. I stand as two figures under the moonlight, two strangers, two personalities, just me and myself. In the silence we share, awkward as hell. Welcome, I say. Are you happy with what we've done? You sit there in silence. My anger grows hotter, like volcanoes erupting underwater. Face to face, my hands grabbing your shirt, my voice breaking and yelling, why? 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 Why did you hide our emotions? Why did you lie to them, to her? Why did you yell at her when all she did was care? Why did you shut everybody out? Why did you let her go? Why didn't you say, I love you? In this empty space, now filled with our tears, an ocean of us. Our lies are like fish swimming in the ocean. Our denials like a shark waiting for their prey. Our emotions are like hidden treasures that are never uncovered. Us, we hold each other in this void-filled sea as we always do. Ma, your colors of red, yellow, orange, and white mixes with my blue, green, black, and purple. An ancient flag of the colors of me, collecting moss, sitting behind a sunken closed door of your white, waiting for the letters, your letters, to never come back. I love you, but I hate myself. Sincerely, me.
Oof. Gonna have to take a breath before continuing home. Thank you so much, Hakim, for that wonderful poem. Oh, all right. So we'll be moving on to the next poet of the night, and her name is Tarums. Her poem is called Heaven on Earth, and it's going to take on a slightly lighter tone, and it's also about family. So, this is a quick introduction about her. Um, Hey, you. She has taken it upon herself to shape the experiences that she's lived by writing it down on paper so that she can read. Living once is just not enough. And I do agree. There is a quote about readers and writers living 1,000 lives, and this is Tarosa's poem Heaven on Earth, and you can find her at twinkle_Tayan. Take it away.
Hi, this piece of poetry that I wrote, Heaven on Earth, is for someone who's really close to my heart, my grandfather. And this new journey that I've embarked upon has been such a blessing in my life that I wanted to tell him all about it. And writing a letter is the best possible way of doing so. So yeah, here it goes. Writing this letter to you, sharing a news with you, found the two things our soul calls for. People look up and ask from the master above. Can you believe it? My lover and I found a home greater than one can think of. Writing this letter to you, sharing my home with you. My heart aches, you won't see our home anytime soon. Perhaps my heaven made with bricks is brighter. Isn't envy a funny emotion? Ask this to your sun, stars, and moon. Writing this letter to you, my home knows about you. 3 rooms, let me paint one with warm lights. Belongs only to my lover and I, a cube with red hue. For this place holds love passionately, also deep slumbers after mischievous fights. Writing this letter to you, something I need to ask you. A home you shared with your wife, creatures out to tarnish. I'm no lord, but for a crime as such to punish or not to punish. With blue dim lighting, this room is still in works, has cracks and chipped paint on the wall. Before us, the creatures arrived, wrecked it, and showed no remorse at all. Rebuilding, bit by bit, my lover and I stay up nights, silent cries, cradling each other's broken hearts. This is a battle we're both willing to fight. Hopeful it'll be as good as new, believers to have resolve like us are very few. Writing this letter to you, my lover wishes to know you. You are the books that you read living in this room's shelves. My lover and I made you immortal as you live in us too. A place of growth, flowers we planted and nurtured them ourselves. A place where my honey creates more bulrang pool. Here his bee too reached a satori. Our love waters these seeds. To liberate is the space's only rule, shamelessly being each other's need. Writing this letter to you, wish I could touch you. Cozy couch in our living room, facing the chaotic box. My human says this couch perfectly holds just us two. Remind you of Nana yet? She's patiently waiting for her cue. Your absence made your lover a corpse, which occasionally talks. Price of love, bitter harsh reality, vulnerability and availability, visibility with some sensibility, nights here dipped in tranquility. Are we foolish for our home achieved a sense of invincibility? Writing this letter to you, our home is open for you. Big windows and doors rarely ever close, plenty of moonlight, rainbow and rain, as our love here isn't enclosed. Our home brings happiness in ways I can't explain. Someday you'll witness the love in life hereafter. Till then, wait for me to write to you again.
Thank you. That was Heaven on Earth by Taros. That was wonderful, beautiful. So we're moving on to the next poem. Chin, and her poem title is A Heaven's Field, The Demon's Slow. So Pension is an ICS student who is currently in her second year. She lives on a farm with her family and her two irritating dogs. She loves riding and is always on the lookout for new rider friends. So check out her Instagram at penching_07 and slide into her DMs if you're a fellow rider. I like this. There's a condition if you want to slide into her DMs. Well, anyway, this is A Heaven's Field, The Demon's Law.
Hello,
Slow.
my name is Chin.
Law.
Hello, my name is Chin, and I'm going to read a poem that I wrote titled The Hidden Field, the Demon's Slow. Light of my existence, fire of my soul, touchstone of my life and song of my suffering. I bid thee come hither and lay with me, and feel ourselves not on earth and not tied up to the dirt, but up amidst the bright white stars. Even as the stars twinkle out and the skies fall, the suns die and the moons defect. Our love shall never yield, even if either of us were fated to fall by free will. Life is as good as it will ever be with you, you who have freed me from my heavy chains of lachrymose. Indeed, if ever the fates betray us and laugh, and the gods turn their heads away, and our muses were to us derelict, our love shall be timeless and still live unaltered, like the eternal space-time. Remind me of it with every peal of laughter, such mirth. As I lay alone every night I think of you, and when you are next to me, I kiss you with my soft tears of sorrowful joy, for I know nothing, eat nothing, drink nothing, and can do nothing whenever I lack your company. O sweet, fanciful, graceful one, my pleasing dear. Your desire and wishes are my scriptures. You are my muse, and you shall keep me as I keep you, and I shall be filled with you, my mountain, my earth, my rock. If ever our world were to fall, I will rage against the perishing light, so that you can go gentle into the good night on dawn's wings. I will travel to the stars with you, and we shall make love among the stars, and die also among them. But even in our body's demise, our love shall know its life. I love you more than 1,000 souls can, and if I had 3 hearts, I would give you all of them. For your passion is my passion, your joys and sorrows are mine also, and if it were the burden of happiness and prosperity you bear, then may I bear it with equal blissful cheer. And if it be the burden of sorrowful despondency that you bear, then may I bear it with equal spiritful wonder, for I will follow you beyond earth, heaven, and even further. If you were to return at last with nothing at all, know that at least I shall return with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pension, for that poem. It's called A Heaven's Field, A Demon's Slow. So if you wanna follow her, it's at pension_07. And yeah, let's move on to the next poem. This poem is written by Jia and it's entitled. Intro about her is Hello Bello. She's a zombified year 4 student who's juggling internship and studies. Writing is her therapy, and it inevitably leads up to poetry. So if you want to follow her on Instagram, it's at jia.yng. That's at jia.yng Jiaying. So yeah, and this is Bites of You by Jiaying.
Love was something I never entrusted myself to. It was so far corrupted by pain and suffering, locked away into a zip file, and never to be extracted. The pre-installed data of that conception was crashed by the ever-growing presence of you. You profoundly redefined my definition of love. Love before you was getting bruises of your smallest mistakes, mistaking a simple gesture as holding the door open to be kindness, trained to endure from being shoved, holding back tears. Love, when you arrived into my distant directions, was laughing out loud without restraint when one calls, sharing thoughts to you without judgment, clear from the lifting corners of your lips, and trusting you with my broken heart in your hands. With your orotund voice, warmth was your comforting words, Your reassurance surging in like a gun, files of it being brought in and loaded to hit 100%. Files and files of your support, like providing backup security or being installed into the hard drive. That is me. I see you. Every night looks the same, but God knows I'll never get sick of the loop. The repetition of our nights spent on voice calls together, all night, until the sun shyly peeks through like dawn. I see you. Every passing day, you're more alive in my space. You're real in the presence of my phone. My eyes brought this vision of you to life. I see you. Standing at 5'8", raven hair tied into a bun. A pair of big round eyes filled with layered secrecy. Lips hidden under that box beard. Your thin figure worn down by 3 layers of clothing with hands in your pockets. Milk chocolate skin visible through the gaps of pockets and sleeves. I see you. Closing my eyes, I see you alight even when I'm offline. The hologram of you taking up more than 100 gigabytes in my storage. I see you. One night was all it took for 70 nights to be infected with the virus that is rejection. I see you. At the break of dawn, everything of you deleted and sent to the trash with 3 words. Everything we had burned to the platter, that is my mind. I see you. The ghost of you haunted me every running minute. The tirading emotion sent me into overdrive. Trust me when I say it was a long processing cleaning of the hard drive. I see you. No matter how much I tried to erase you, as annoying as the hidden bugs, would return without fail, to the point the system had succumbed to the burden and needed a factory reset. I see you. But you see, with the missing you, as seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months pass by. The hologram of you slowly disintegrates into nothing. Bits of you fade away into nothing. Cachet of you erased into nothing. Ever since that night, I'll chant these words, believing if I repeated them until my voice breaks, that the small part of me that wants to keep you alive would overheat and crash at the core. I see you. I see you. Now I no longer see you.
Whew, that was intense. Thank you, Jiang, for that. Might want to add bites of you. That's BYTES, not bites, BITES. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that in case you guys can't see it. Whew, a bit intense. I'm heating up. All right, so the next poem of the night would be Izati, and her poem is entitled "The Last Letter for You." So a quick introduction about her is she loves cats so much. They are her life. She also loves poetry. For her, it's a way to escape all the engulfed emotions, just a healthy way to express. And you will see this in her poem later. Take it away. The Last Letter for You by Izati.
Dear you, this is my last letter. I'm tired of crying, but I can't stop it tonight. My eyes swollen, my hair is messy. I couldn't sleep last night, knowing that today is the day. My eyes swollen with red veins, carrying a dark bag that's weighing my eyes down. My head thinking and thinking and thinking. Why? Why must you leave? Why must you go away from me? Close my eyes for a second to reminisce the beauty of our memory together. Your hand touching my hand softly like a feather, swiping my hand. The warmth of your touch, your dark toned hand, like the color of hot caramel. Mr. Pollo, that's what I called you. Your white smile, your laugh, your sukubugurao brings butterflies drowning in my stomach, thinking that you feel the same way. Was I wrong to think that way? Was I wrong to think that your flirtiness is a way to get me? But to you, it was just being friendly. Like biasalah, kawan kan suka bergurau and poke you in the tummy until you gelak. Tell me, would a friend embrace you like a dog not wanting to let go of its bone after a long fight? Tell me, would a friend fight with you like a married couple yang tiba-tiba senyap? Not wanting to talk to each other because of ego? Tell me, clarify to me, so I could breathe, let go, forget about you. Too bad I can't. I was a piece of chess to you, specifically a pawn. I try. No. I want to step forward. But you chose the queen instead. You freely moving her because she has the freedom to do so. But here I am, stuck in a spot, begging you to move me. Here I am, waiting for you. Just waiting for you, like some idiot on a bridge, waiting for you to come to me. Sebab you janji. Mana janji tu pergi? Here I am, telling you, showing you that I am worth it. Here I am, sitting here, patiently, just waiting for the moment. Because maybe, just maybe, you would choose me. But instead, you played me. You made me like a fool, a clown on the stage with my big red nose and mascara running down my painted white face, a spotlight covering my whole appearance while the audience laughing, throwing tomatoes at me because maybe I am the clown on the stage, telling me that you're not worth it, you don't deserve him. He's a king and you're just a clown. Get out of here, you pig. But I certainly can't move. My legs are chained to the floor. My mouth shut by lock. That's what you made me feel. A fool. A piece of chess easily being sacrificed and thrown out or simply ignored. Tell me, why did you do it? Tell me, was it just a game to you for treating a friend like that? Was I really your friend? You know all my secrets. You are my diary. A diary is supposed to be locked and kept without anyone knowing what's inside, but you act like the intruder and like how my sister used to read my secrets and tell stuff to my mom. But you tell things to everyone you know, to your friends, and not just to your friends, but also my close friends yang tak tahu apa-apa pun. Was it wrong for me to trust you? Was it wrong to think that you were my friend? Was I really a fool? Was I really the clown on the stage? Was the audience right? Was it worth it for you to choose the queen? Questions and questions and questions lingering in my head without any answer. But you know what? Screw this. Screw you. Screw all the questions. I don't deserve being treated like this, and I don't deserve to feel and engulf myself with questions that you would never answer because you're an egoistic monster. I am done feeling this way. I am done being the candle that shines you while I'm slowly melting into an abyss. I wish karma really exists, so that one day somebody would do the same thing, like how you did to me and made you feel like how you made me feel. A trapped princess with a wolf slowly taking advantage of her kindness and innocence. You know what? Let me say farewell. Let me be free. Let go of these negativity, this grudge in me. Let me end this with a smile because I know that one day somebody will make you feel the way I feel. And I know that one day I will be somebody's somebody.
Woof, goosebumps at that last line. Yes, well, I believe karma is real. What comes around goes around, you know? And that was Izati's The Last Letter for You. I forgot to shout out her social media handles just now. So she's at Nor Izati underscore on Instagram and Izati Saim on Facebook. So if you want to add her, talk to her about poetry, go ahead. Those are her handles. Poet for tonight, and her name is Nicole. And the poem that she'll be performing is My Body is of Shameful Dough. So, a quick intro about her is her name, she's Nicole, and today she'll be performing her poem titled My Body is of Shameful Dough. She also has a poetry book called Sunflowers by the Sea on Wattpad. So, if you want to check that out, you can do that. And her social media handle is Nicole Lee JQ. So yeah, take it away. My body is of
Hi, my name is Nicole, and today I'll be
shameful
reading out my poem titled My Body is of Shameful Dough. The baker is meant to knead the dough, shaping it, baking it, selling it, as a loaf of fluffy white bread, buns that are warm and fresh and whole, making the customer who has devoured it think that this is a bloody good brand. The chef is meant to stretch the dough, spreading it far apart and wide, rolling it, cutting it, boiling it, to make the pasta which will be served to esteemed guests during nightly dinners as they twirl their forks around, using their dancing tongues to slurp up whatever's left. The artist is meant to play with the dough, rather roughly too, might I add, slapping it, squeezing it, pinching it, to form a donut which will be left out to dry, so it can be iced and decorated the very next morning, ready to be displayed as part of an art show, a basket of dessert models being flaunted, hopefully glossy and shiny enough to catch some famous photographer's eye. And yet, when I go home to you, still my long baggy pants and long sleeve sweater beat despite being in Malaysia's blazing hot weather, I am much too afraid to shout or scream or cry, because I have been told that as a woman, I must remain chaste and pure and innocent, a proper lady, until it is finally time. So how can I tell you what my body has already been subjected to, stripped and bared by their ruthless roaming eyes, bruised and battered and scarred as they shouted and jeered and whistled into my burning ears, stealing pieces of my body without even touching me? Oh, it makes me feel as though my body is of shameful dough. The words of slut and whore being engraved into my blood and bones, simply just tossed and thrown and numbly taking jabs and punches and blows, only meant to mold and fit into whatever is shoved into my poor soul, regardless, 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 regardless of the size. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Nicole, for that wonderful poem. That was My Body is of Shameful Dough by Nicole. Shouting this out again just in case you've missed it. She has a poetry book called Sunflowers by the Sea on Wattpad, so you can check that out if you want to. So, this is the last poet for the night. Bit sad that it's closing, and it doesn't feel like an hour has passed, but yes, today we'll be ending with a poem called A Lesson on Touch by Akil. And his social media handle is QAQ, how to pronounce that? I'm sorry, on Instagram. So you can follow him there. And a quick introduction is hello. Akil is a person with many pronouns and a little experience in the art of spoken word poetry. So please bear with him. Akil, it's completely fine. Take it away. Lesson on Touch by Akil.
Kid, What I've learnt from years and years of existing in physical surplus is this. Someone, someday, will want to touch you. I can gauge your reaction from here, a roll of your eyes, a quiver of your lips, because up until this point, everything you've seen has been to the contrary. Because you don't find yourself in photo shoot spreads. You don't eye a size 17 in the eponymous magazine, never seen satin silk hanging off of excess skin, only ever been privy to people half your weight, near naked with no reason to be afraid. You don't find yourself on television either. You want to see someone your size as something other than a sack of whoopee cushions with the words, laugh at me," in big red lettering on the front. So instead, you watch as you play the best friend. Confident only in defense, never the love interest, cheering on girl number one as she gets to be more. Worse yet, you don't even find yourself in porn. You've looked it up, I know you have, and discovered that your body exists as its own separate category. You clicked once, out of curiosity, and watched as camera angles emphasized the cellulite, the dangly bits, the loose skin, as the guy spits on the girl and calls her a fat pig bitch. Meanwhile, your skinny friends get to dress and date and text whoever they want. Pretty boys and pretty girls who can fit into each other's clothes without a stretch or two. And all you get to do is wonder what that's like. Piece of advice? One fat pig bitch to another? Someone someday will want to touch you, I promise. Someone someday will touch you adoringly, hands tender and warm, fingers tracing the outline you once said was misshapen, kissing you soft, pushing your heart rate so high that the anger that once made a home in your chest feels outcompeted and overruled. Someone someday will touch you eagerly, gripping at you with palms and lips and teeth. You never knew that you could be so worshipped, and yet here you are, lover on fragile knee, begging for an inch of your mercy. And someone someday will touch you repeatedly. You've always been afraid that your body at best is a novelty, a one-time thing, an indulged curiosity, a rebellion before falling back in line. Someone someday will prove you wrong. Someone someday will see you not as a moment of weakness, but a place of strength, will run their eyes over you day after day and still find something to call beautiful or good or enough, will make you wonder why you could have ever touched your body and called it anything less than lovely. And most importantly, someone someday will want to touch you and mean it. So don't be afraid. Don't tell yourself that you don't deserve to be touched, that there will always be someone prettier than you, someone smaller or softer or stronger or prettier. Because to someone someday, you will be the best fucking thing they have ever felt.
That was beautiful piece, Akio. Little experience in spoken word poetry. Excuse me, that was immaculate. All right. Oh, unfortunately, that was the last piece. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, hold on. I will send. Sorry, I'll be sending a list of all the poets that we've had tonight, and then I'll be listing the handles out on the YouTube comment section, and so you guys can follow them if you do want to, or if you've missed it earlier, you can just look at this comment again. And yeah, that should be all for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and once again, thank you to Dr. Sheena, everybody, and also, of course, the poets and the audience. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've had a great night. And yes, I will be sending this. I'll be sending the social media handles in just a bit into the comment section. So yeah, thank you so much. Hope to see you guys for next year's spoken word event. Have a great night. Bye bye.